In 1922, on a remote farm in Germany, a family lived completely isolated. No close neighbors, no nearby town, just fields, forest, and silence. But something about that farm felt wrong. Long before anything happened, there were already signs that they weren't alone. Days before the murders, the farmer noticed something strange. Footprints in the snow, leading from the forest straight to the house, but none leading back. He followed them carefully all the way to his door, and then they just stopped. At night, they began to hear it. Footsteps above them, in the attic, slow, heavy, like someone was walking back and forth. They searched, but found nothing. No broken entry, no one inside. And yet, the sounds continued. One morning, a newspaper appeared inside the house. No one had bought it, no one had ordered it, and no one knew where it came from. It was just there, like someone had been inside, watching. Then the keys went missing. Not misplaced, gone. They searched everywhere, every room, every corner. Nothing, which meant one thing: whoever had been there still had access. The previous maid refused to stay. She claimed the house was haunted. Strange sounds, unseen presence, constant fear. No one believed her until she left and never came back. When investigators arrived, the house was locked from the inside. Doors secured, windows intact, no signs of forced entry, no clear escape, which meant one thing: whoever did this was already inside. Inside the house, something didn't make sense. Meals had been eaten, animals were fed, the fireplace was still warm days after the murders, which meant someone stayed behind, living there, sleeping there, after everything had already happened. Neighbors reported something else. Days after the family died, they still heard movement, footsteps from inside the house. At night, lights flickering, shadows shifting, but no one dared to go closer because deep down they already knew someone was still there. Whoever did this didn't rush, didn't panic. They stayed, moved around the house, used the space as if it belonged to them, as if they had been there long before anyone noticed, which raises a terrifying possibility. They were never a stranger. A neighbor later said he had seen someone near the farm, not once, but multiple times. A man standing at a distance, watching, never approaching, never speaking, just there, as if he already knew what was inside. Before the murders, a former worker refused to stay. She claimed the house wasn't right. She heard things, felt watched, uncomfortable. Even during the day, she left suddenly and never came back. Inside the house lived 6 people, a family, across generations, working the land, living together, day after day. But something about their lives wasn't as simple as it seemed. There were tensions, whispers, things they didn't talk about. Every day followed the same pattern: work, meals, silence. Nothing unusual, nothing out of place. And yet, something had already changed. Long before that night, something had entered their lives. After the discovery, suspicions began. People started talking about who could have done it and why. Some believed it was someone close, someone familiar, someone who knew the house well enough to move without being noticed. Someone was watching them, not just passing by, not just once. For days before the murders, footprints appeared in the snow, leading toward the house, but never away. At night, the family heard movement above them, slow, deliberate footsteps in the attic. They checked, found nothing, but the sounds kept returning. Whoever it was already inside. The house had many doors, but one day, the keys went missing. No one could find them. At first, it seemed small, just misplaced. But then, doors that were locked were suddenly open, and the family began to feel it, that quiet, creeping fear. They weren't alone anymore. Someone had access. It didn't happen all at once. One by one, they were led, drawn into the barn. No screams heard, no struggle reported, just disappearance. Something or someone was calling them into the dark, and they followed, not knowing they would never return. When the bodies were found, something didn't make sense. The killer didn't leave. For days after the murders, someone stayed in the house, fed the animals, ate the food, lived among the dead. No signs of panic, no signs of escape. Whoever did this was comfortable, as if they belonged there. And then there's the theory no one wants to say out loud. What if this wasn't random? What if it was planned by someone they knew? Someone who understood the house, the routine, the locks, the silence. Because the most terrifying truth isn't the darkness outside, it's the possibility that the danger was already trusted, already welcomed, already inside. After that night, the farm went silent. No laughter, no footsteps, no life. Neighbors avoided the place. Even animals refused to come close. They said the air felt wrong, like something still lingered there, not visible, not moving, but present. And the silence was louder than anything before it. Investigations came and went. Suspects were questioned, theories were built, but no one was ever proven guilty. No arrest, no confession, no closure. Just silence and a case that slowly faded without answers. Years later, the house was torn down. Every wall, every room, gone. As if erasing the place could erase what happened inside it. But destroying a house doesn't destroy the truth, because whatever happened there was never buried, only hidden. Even today, people still talk about it, not as history, but as something unfinished, a story without an ending, a crime without a face, and a night that no one truly understands. Because the more you look into it, the less it makes sense, and that's what makes it terrifying. 6 people gone, inside their own home. No witnesses, no answers, no justice. So ask yourself, what really happened that night? Was it someone they knew, someone watching, or something we still don't understand? Because until today, this case remains unsolved. And if you want more real stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next story might be even darker.